In my last video we made an overview of two regions, Fremnik and the Wilderness. Today I'll dive into another continent and explore what Zeya has to offer us. But before we start, give this video a like, and if you're interested in more videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel. Alright, let's begin. If you decide to unlock this region, the following quests are automatically completed. And for achievement diaries, only one is auto-completed. Also, it's worth mentioning that with the removal of favors, this area became much more enjoyable. Now, to truly enjoy this area, you don't need to do tedious tasks that took a lot of time in the past. And I think that's a big plus in my opinion. When it comes to notable settlements, in this region we have Osidius, Archaeus, Lovakanj, Port Piscarilius, Shazian, the Kourend Castle area, Northern Tundras where the Wintertoll is located, Kourend Woodlands, Mount Karulm, Cable Swamp, and Mount Kindamorton. For combat related activities, we have the Catacombs of Kourend where we can encounter various Slayer monsters that provide valuable drops such as alkables, runes, herbs, and seeds. Here we can also kill, for example, Abbey demons that drop the Abyssal Dagger and Abyssal Whip, which is a great weapon for early and mid game. In the Catacombs we also have access to various dragons that can provide us bones for prayer, rune items, dragon armor upgrades, and a draconic visage that can be used to create the dragon fire shield. All these monsters have a chance of dropping totem parts which are combined to make a totem. This item is then used on the altar in the middle of this cave to fight Skotizo, and this will most definitely be a task in this area. Skotizo drops the uncut onyx and also is a great source for hard clues. In this region we also have Sarachnis in the Fortos dungeon. This is a great early game boss that gives us the Sarachnis cudgel and various items including runes, herbs, and seeds. She also drops rune items for Alking, the Dragon Madhelm, Giant Egg Sack that contains a considered amount of red spider eggs that can be used to create super restores, and like all monsters inside the Fortos dungeon, she also have a chance of dropping a grubby key. This key is used to open grubby chests that can provide us super restores, Saradomin brews, sharks, and a considerate amount of runes, herbs, and potions. We have the Giant's Den, where we can find Hill Giants, Moss Giants, and Fire Giants. The Mount Karulm Slayer Dungeon, where we can find various Slayer monsters, like for example Wyrms that drop the Dragon Harpoon, Drakes that can drop the Drake Claw to turn our Boots of Stone into Boots of Brimstone. They also can drop the Drake's Tooth to use on our Holy Sandals to create the Devout Boots, if you're lucky enough to get the Holy Sandals from medium clues. Also, in this cave we can fight the Alchemical Hydra that drops the Hydra's Eye, Fang, and Heart, the 3 pieces to create the Brimstone Ring. She also drops the Hydra Leather that can be used on Roshia's gloves, and the Hydra's Claw that can be used on the Zamorakian Hasta to create the Dragon Hunter Lance. This is a great melee weapon against draconic creatures because it has 20% increase in both accuracy and damage against them. But if you want to get this item, you have to get the Zamorakian Hasta, which is only accessible if you unlock Asgarnia. In this region we also have access to Lizardman Shamans that drop the Zarik's Talisman that can be used to teleport us all around Zeya. These monsters drop the Dragon Warhammer that had its drop chance changed from 1 in 5000 to 1 in 3000. But with the League's drop rates multipliers, this will be much faster. Alright, and finally the biggest piece of content in terms of combat in Zeya, the Chambers of Zarik. In this raid we can obtain the Dexterous and Arcane Prayer Scrolls to unlock Rigor and Augury respectively. We also can obtain the Twisted Buckler, the Dragon Hunter Crossbow, Din's Bulwark, Full Ancestral, Dragon Claws, and the 3 mega rares from this raid, the Elder Maul, the Kodai Insignia to use on your Master Wands to create a Kodai Wand, which requires the Desert Region unlocked, and also the Twisted Bow. Note that in this year, as I mentioned in previous videos, from a single raid region we can get every single mega rare best in slot weapon from each combat style. This means if you decide to unlock Zeya, you can get the Twisted Bow, Tumakan Shadow, and Side of Vitor. Also in this year, the challenge mode Chambers of Zarik has the following changes. Damage and defense is increased by 25%, 50% increase hit points on monsters, and unique chance is further multiplied by 3. Alright, for non-combat activities, in this region we have The Winter Toads for supplies and fire making training, where we can obtain the Dragon Axe, full Pyromancer outfit, Bruma Torch, Tome of Fire, and Burned Pages. For farming, we have those hideous farming patches that never get diseased if we complete the Kourend Cabos Easy Diary. We have the Tide Farm, where we can get the farmer's outfit, seed box, herb sack, and herb boxes, where we can get various types of herbs. And the Farming Guild, where we can get farming contracts and fight the Espori that can drop the bottomless bucket. For wood cutting, we have the Wood Cutting Guild, where we can find all types of trees with the exception of teak and mahogany. For fishing, we have the Lake Mulch aerial fishing and anglerfish in Piscarilias. Also in Piscarilias, for TVing, we have Stealing Artifacts. For Hunter, we have Chinchompas in the Land's End. For rune crafting, we have the Soul Altar and the Blood Altar. For mining, we have the Blast Mine. And for other notable mentions, we have the Osidia's House Portal and the Archaeos Library, where we can trade books we find for rune crafting XP. For important shops and NPCs, we have Konar that gives us specific Slayer tasks that have a chance of dropping Brimstone Keys, which are used to open Brimstone chests that can provide various supplies, and the Dusk Mystic Rope pieces. We have the General Store in Osidios, the Kourend Castle Gem Stall, Theros Wares in Archaeos, where we can find various elemental and catalytic runes, Tuti's Pickaxes Shop in Lovakenj, and Frankie's Fishing Emporium in Piscarilias, where we can buy fish for early game food. Personally, I think this region has great early game content. It has killing activities like the Winter Toads that not only gives fast fire making XP, but also gives supplies in the process. We also have the Farming Guild, which is a great piece of content, including farming contracts, which can give us difficult seeds to get. We have a wide variety of Slayer monsters in the Catacombs of Kourend that can provide various supplies, weapons, and armor upgrades, early game bosses like Serachnis, and late game bosses content like the Alchemical Hydra and the Chambers of Zarek. And with this year's mega rare change, this raid becomes much more attractive. And with all this in mind, I leave up to you to decide if Zeya is the right region for you. Alright, that was all the information that I wanted to share with you with this little video. I've summarized the main highlights of this fantastic area, and I hope it helps you in your decision making. If there's anything you'd like to add, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll keep posting more videos about leagues, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.